So I think I've been designing crochet patterns for a while now. I think it's a good enough time to figure out that I've been doing things wrong for a very long time. I've literally been making my life so difficult because I'm so stubborn with my patterns. I kind of wanted to give you some insight into why I've kind of changed some things and why I'm doing things differently, and how I was doing things before, so you guys don't have to make the same mistakes. But before we completely start, I would like to mention that I am going to be kind of talking about Ribbler a little bit, and I am in conversation with them about certain promotions that I can do, and I mentioned to them that how I used to actually hate Ribbler, and a lot of things have changed since then, and now it is my preferred platform. While this isn't exactly a sponsored video, I will be talking about them, but it's because I genuinely like them. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not getting paid to do this video, but I am kind of working with them a little bit. Hopefully that makes sense. But I just wanted to give it a little like disclaimer that it's not really an ad. I just kind of like them. Make sense? I've been making patterns for quite a while now, and I feel like I've been doing it wrong. And I've been doing it wrong because I have too many avenues in which this pattern exists. The way that I make my patterns is I do a first draft that is completely like written, drawn out. If you are, like, best recommendation of all time, if you are starting to make your patterns, draw it first. So this is the Fen of the Fox pattern, and I drew out what I wanted to make, and then I did a bunch of chicken scratch of a whole bunch of things that might work, might not work, and I think I did not even put the hook size or the yarn that I use. So that is something that I do now. Hook size and yarn and safety eye size. Super crucial. And then what I do is I turn it into a Google Doc. I start typing it out on a Google Doc and making it as clear as I possibly can. Then what I'll do is I will follow that Google Doc, not my chicken scratch. I will follow the Google Doc while taking pictures and put the pictures together with the Google Doc information into, and here's where I went wrong, into a Photoshop file. Photoshop is not the application to use. The reason why I chose Photoshop to put together my patterns is because I can edit my photos, I can, you know, take out the backgrounds, I can do all of that stuff in one application. But the problem with it is that it doesn't create text-based files. At least I haven't figured out how to do that. What it does is I have to create smaller folders in which then I can merge down into one JPEG per page. I'm gonna bring you over to my Twitch setup so I can kind of be here and also there. So this is kind of what it looks like. So this is the Fen of the Fox pattern. Here are all of the individual pages in which, you know, if you can open them up, I have my edited images in here, and then I have some text layers, and it's just a whole mess that becomes very disorganized, but it does leave me with a product that I am pretty proud of. Like, I do really like the look of this, and to be honest, I'm stubborn. I probably won't learn how to use what is it, is it Illustrator? I think it's Adobe Illustrator. I probably won't learn how to do that because I'm so used to doing this now. But it doesn't leave you with a file that you can like copy and paste from. So what I've done is I've made this pattern, made adjustments onto my Google Doc, and then made another adjustments onto the end product that I can't even copy and paste from. So I only have a PDF that people can't really work as well with because you can't even like highlight things, you can't like mark things off. It's literally just a JPEG file. But it looks pretty cute and I'm pretty proud of it. The other thing is because I had such high quality photos, like they were just large files, like just tons of megs, like they were just large files. I would have this massive Photoshop file that I would merge into a PDF full of like JPEG pictures, and then it would leave me with a file that's like 50 megabytes large, but Etsy only had the ability to upload a 20 meg file. So then what I would do is I would deep fry my patterns and then like try and get as good of a quality product while shrinking the file size. So it would have to be less than 20 megabytes. It would end up being like 17 megs. And I have like 25 to 30 page patterns sometimes, which is a lot. So when Ribbler came out, I lost it. I was like, first of all, another pattern sharing site. Great. Another thing that I have to do. And then second of all, the way that it used to work, and still kind of does, is that you have to write out each individual line or copy and paste it from the Google Doc to the Ribbler application. And the reason why I got mad was because my process wasn't good to allow that to happen, because I couldn't copy and paste from my PDF, which was a bunch of JPEGs, over into their application, because that was the most correct version. I had my Google Doc version that I can copy and paste over, but it wasn't quite right because I changed things for the final copy. And so I was like, boo, this doesn't work with my process, so I hate using it. And I didn't use Ribbler for the longest time. I did reach out to Ribbler a little while after, they were kind of bumping, and I was like, I don't like using you because you can't let me upload my own PDF, because I'm proud of my PDF the way that things are laid out, but you don't allow me to. And they're like, oh, no, this is something that we added a while ago. And I was like, hold up. So they actually did add this functionality that you can upload a PDF file to the pattern, but I still had to go in and rewrite everything and make sure that everything was the way that it was reflected in the PDF pattern. But honestly, it's very tempting for me to absolutely just scratch my beautifully laid out like pattern and the way that I've been doing things, because Ribbler has been making it so easy to just get a PDF pattern. And people ask me all the time, like, what application do you use? And I say Photoshop, but don't use Photoshop, use Ribbler instead, because you can just get this is a PDF pattern that you could download that has everything right there. It has everything right there. It has all the instructions, has all the information. This is a paid pattern, so I'm not going to show you all of it, but it has everything right there. And I used to bash Ribbler all the time because I couldn't get my own little PDF onto their file. But now they allow that. Like, I do have the PDF file integrated into the pattern, but it's just more accessible for people to use. I have changed the way that I've done my patterns specifically because of Ribbler. And I've been uploading things just directly to Ribbler now. I will skip over the typing things up onto my Google Doc. Like, where's my little Google Doc? Here's my Google Doc where it's like my Fen of the Fox, and then I have all of this stuff, but like it's all right here. Like, I don't even have to write this. I don't even have to write this out, because what Ribbler will do is when you type in all of the instructions, it will recognize what SC and INC mean, and it will put it automatically here. You don't have to do anything. This is sounding like an ad, but genuinely, I think they've made some like massive strides. Before Ribbler made these changes, I would have to edit all my photos and then upload them to Ribbler. And I was like, that's an inconvenience. That's not part of my workflow. I don't like it. But now they have a photo editor within their application. I mean, it's basic. It has all of the things that you kind of need. It doesn't have like the AI removal of the background, which I really enjoy using. But there are things that are like still coming. I'm just like, I'm so upset that I didn't use Ribbler sooner. And I think it could kind of take out this middleman that I have of the Google Docs. I can literally just write it into Ribbler if I want. But currently my process and currently what I enjoy doing is I will physically write it, physically draw it out. I will then move it to the Google Docs so that I have it as like my own content somewhere that I can like mess around with it or remind myself of. And then I can transfer that stuff from the Google Doc, literally copy and paste it, like highlight it, Control V, and then just make sure that it like all makes sense. I sometimes have to move things around, but it's like too easy. If Ribbler was out when I was starting to design patterns, I would want to know about it because it makes it a lot easier as a pattern designer, and you can literally take things and move them to other spots as needed. They do have the ability to download the PDF file if that's how you prefer using it, or you can use it within the app and you can like stroke out and use like their own program to track where you are. It even has the ability to download the PDF for a fee without the Ribbler watermarking. So then you can take that pattern and upload it to Etsy. So I've been doing this way of like making content specifically for like one website, while if I could just take the content that Ribbler gives me, I can just put it anywhere. It just makes more sense to me. I don't want to be like a sellout, like I'm not making money from talking about Ribbler, but I do genuinely enjoy using their platform. And it's becoming bigger, it's becoming more mainstream, people know about it more. So if you are looking for patterns, it does support the pattern designer more. They are able to have more of an income from Ribbler. It just makes more sense. So I don't know, if you're a user of patterns, try Ribbler. If you are a maker of patterns, try Ribbler to just like make your own patterns and start somewhere. You design your own flow and your own process eventually, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but don't be like me, in which you're too stubborn to make a change because you think your workflow is the best, when it's probably not. So maybe this video is just going to be like a mishmash of information, but hopefully you got something from it. And if you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.